Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel and buckle in because today's video is going to be absolutely wild. We've got one of the biggest breaking stories in the NFL right now, and it's already setting social media on fire. I'm talking about the chaotic, unbelievable, borderline unreal situation that went down between Dallas Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott and Eagles defensive lineman Jalen Carter, in what is now being dubbed by fans as the Spitgate scandal of the season. I mean, seriously, it's week 1, and we're already dealing with ejections, accusations, fines, and rumors of suspensions that have the fan bases ready to go to war in the comments. So let's break down exactly what happened, what people are saying, and why some people are screaming that Dak Prescott has been suspended even though there's a lot more to the story than the viral headlines would have you believe. It all started during the highly anticipated NFC East showdown between the Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles, a rivalry that has never lacked intensity, but this time it exploded before a single snap was even played. So here's the scene. The stadium is rocking. Fans are rowdy, kickoff just happened, and already there's a medical timeout on the field because of an injury to an Eagles player. While trainers are tending to him, and both teams are kind of standing around waiting for the game to resume, Dak Prescott and several Eagles defenders are standing near each other, not really interacting, just keeping to their respective huddles, and this is when everything goes south. According to multiple people who were at the game and others who've seen the replays, Dak spits on the ground. Now hold up. Before we go any further, let me make this clear. Dak has been known to spit during games, like a lot of quarterbacks and players do, usually to clear their mouth, get rid of excess saliva, or even just as a habit when pacing around between plays. But the issue is where that spit landed and how it was perceived. Because allegedly, the spit landed either close to Jalen Carter's foot, or at least close enough that Carter felt disrespected, and instead of just brushing it off, he walks right up to Dak, gets in his face, exchanges some words, and then, and this is the shocking part, he spits directly on Dak Prescott's jersey. I'm talking about deliberate, intentional, full-on spit, not some accidental spray or trash talk gone wrong. That's the moment everything changed. Officials immediately stepped in, threw the flag, called unsportsmanlike conduct on Carter, and without hesitation, ejected him from the game before a single down had even been played. Now, let's just pause for a second and think about that. One of the Eagles' top defensive players gone from the game over something that happened before the clock even started. That's already insane. But it didn't end there. Because once the footage started circulating, people started asking, why did Carter react like that? Was Dak trying to provoke him? Did Prescott intentionally spit at Carter to get under his skin, knowing it might cause a reaction and get him penalized? Was this a calculated veteran move? Or just an unfortunate misunderstanding? And that's when the controversy really kicked off. People on social media started claiming that Dak Prescott should be held accountable too. Some were saying he started it, others saying the league needed to investigate both sides, and then the rumors started to spread that Dak might also face punishment, or even a possible suspension, which had Cowboys fans completely losing their minds and Eagles fans calling for blood. But let's back up a bit. After the game, which, by the way, the Eagles ended up winning in a close physical battle, both players were asked about the incident. Jalen Carter admitted he lost his cool, said he thought Dak spit at him or near him on purpose, and apologized to his team, his fans, and the league, saying it won't happen again. That's the kind of accountability you like to see, even if the act itself was out of bounds. Dak, for his part, calmly explained that he wasn't spitting at anyone and that it's just something he does regularly in games. He even seemed surprised Carter reacted the way he did and claimed he didn't mean any disrespect at all. So then the question becomes, was it just a misunderstanding? Was it a case of hyper-competitive emotions boiling over in a heated rivalry game? Or is there something deeper going on between these two players, or even between these two teams that hasn't come to light yet? Now, let's talk about the NFL's response, because this is where things get really interesting. Initially, people were convinced that both players might be fined or even suspended. But what the league decided was to fine Carter a significant amount for unsportsmanlike conduct and label the ejection as a game disqualification, which essentially means he lost that game, didn't get paid for it, and now has to deal with the label of being the first player ejected this season for personal misconduct. But for Dak Prescott, no fine, no punishment, no suspension, nothing. And that's when the internet really split in half. Some fans are saying, well, yeah, because he didn't do anything wrong. Spitting on the ground isn't illegal, and if Carter misread it, that's on him. Others are adamant that Dak provoked the incident, and that even if it wasn't a direct spit, he should have been more aware of how it looked, especially when tensions are high. I mean, let's be honest, quarterbacks, especially star ones like Dak, are under a massive spotlight. Every move they make is scrutinized, every facial expression, every word, every gesture. So when something even looks shady, it can cause chaos. And in this case, it did. That's why you had trending hashtags like SuspendDak and Spitgate popping up all over Twitter, Instagram, and even TikTok, with users breaking down the footage frame by frame like it was the Zapruder film. And yes, you even had verified accounts, sports pundits, and ex-players weighing in, some saying it was blown out of proportion, others saying Dak should at least issued a more formal apology just to put the flames out. But instead, what we got was a classic Dak calm, collected, unbothered which, let's be real, may have only made things worse for people who were already angry. It's also worth noting that this incident has completely reignited the Cowboys-Eagles rivalry in a way we haven't seen in years. Fans are already circling the calendar for the rematch later this season, and you better believe the league is going to make sure that game gets national coverage, prime-time broadcast, and all the pre-game hype you can imagine. And don't be surprised if the officials that day are told to keep a close eye on both teams, especially if Jalen Carter and Dak Prescott are anywhere near each other on the field. Because whether or not there was any true malice in the original act, the tension between them now is undeniable. Now, let's get into the rumors about Dak being suspended, because that's where a lot of misinformation has started to spread. To be clear, as of right now, Dak Prescott has not been suspended. But that hasn't stopped websites, social media pages, and even a few low-budget sports blogs from running with clickbait headlines claiming Dak suspended. Or Cowboys in trouble after Prescott incident. And it's honestly a perfect example of how rumors can get out of control in the modern media cycle. One guy tweets something vague like Prescott facing discipline, and before you know it, someone else is reporting it as fact. Then a YouTube video goes viral, a TikTok stitches it, and boom, half the internet thinks the league's biggest quarterback is sitting out next week. But again, none of that is true. What is true, though, is that this entire situation has cast a spotlight on player behavior, emotional control, and how easily things can escalate on the field. Whether it's pre-game trash talk, misinterpreted gestures, or heated rivalries, it's clear that the NFL is taking unsportsmanlike conduct more seriously than ever. And honestly, that's not necessarily a bad thing. It sends a message that no matter how competitive you are, there are still lines that can't be crossed. For Jalen Carter, it's a lesson learned the hard way. For Dak Prescott, it's a warning shot that even small actions like where you spit can lead to huge consequences if someone takes it the wrong way. And for the fans? Well, it's just more fuel to the fire. Because let's be honest, we live for this kind of drama. It makes the games more intense, the rematch is more meaningful, and the stakes feel even higher. So where do we go from here? Well, both players will be on the field next week, barring any new developments. Carter's got a chip on his shoulder now, trying to prove that he's more than a hothead. Dak, meanwhile, will continue trying to lead the Cowboys to a playoff run, and you better believe that this incident will be brought up again the next time these two teams meet. Will there be retaliation? Will cooler heads prevail? Will the NFL step in early and remind both teams to keep things clean? We'll have to wait and see. But one thing's for sure, the season just started, and it's already giving us storylines we'll be talking about for months. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Was this whole thing overblown? Should Dak have been punished? Did Carter deserve the ejection and the fine? And do you think this rivalry is about to reach a whole new level of crazy when these two teams meet again? Smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and turn on those notifications because I'll be breaking down every twist, turn, and tantrum from this NFL season. Thanks for watching, stay chill, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.